Hey, it's Tuesday and we're back in the kitchen again.
Time for another fun recipe.
Hey, and this one looks good and it also sounds delicious.
That's it. We're making a no-bake orange creamsicle cheesecake.
Hey, that sounds good. And it has a thick crust on it.
Yes, it does. We like a good thick crust. So come on and join us and we will get to making ourselves a creamsicle cheesecake.
Hey, the only problem is we can't eat it till tomorrow.
I know, that's a bummer, but it's got to set up, so we'll have to wait.
Hey, thanks for joining us. See you in the kitchen. Hey, welcome to March Madness.
Woohoo! We got basketball on the TV behind Doug, and we're getting ready to make ourselves an orange creamsicle no-bake cheesecake. Yum! We're going to start with the crust, and Doug and I like a thick graham cracker crust, so we're going to double the recipe. And for that, we're going to need 3 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 2 sticks of butter, that makes a cup, we'll melt that, half a cup of sugar. We'll get that mixed together and pressed down in our springform pan so that that can start to set up a little bit, and then we'll start working on the filling. Here we go.
Okay, so start off with our graham crackers. Remember, we're getting 3 cups of it, so we're just going to pulse it here and get them all mixed together well.
Putting Doug to work. If you don't like a thick crust, you can always go with a regular recipe, which is 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 1 stick of melted butter, and 1/4 cup of sugar. Doug has gone through, is that 1 sleeve, Doug?
1 sleeve.
1 sleeve, and we are wrong side, Tammy. We still got a ways to go. That's almost 1.5 cups, so we'll go about the same amount. All right, we're at 3 cups. It took about 2.5 sleeves, and Doug did a great job pulsing those up, so we'll add some buttered sugar and get it pressed into our pan.
I will say that Ninja is my favorite kitchen tool that does not belong to us.
We use it all the time. All right, we're going in with 3 cups of graham cracker crust, 1/2 cup of sugar. If you want a little bit sweeter, you certainly can do that. I'm just gonna give it a quick mix, and then we're gonna add, we've got 1 cup of melted sugar or butter, and gonna go a little bit at a time, get it mixed up, and then we'll press it down in the pan. All right, almost mixed up. Got a little bit of the dry stuff on the edges, so we'll get those stirred around. And we're gonna go into a springform pan. All right, we'll get this in here. We're gonna press it down and up on the edge just a little bit, so it makes a little bit of a barrier. A little bit more in there. Just gonna go in, press it down, give it a little edging. And we're gonna let this sit in the fridge to cool off and stabilize a little bit so we can put the cream cheese mixture on. All right, for the cheesecake part of our creamsicle cheesecake, we're gonna need 2 blocks, that's 16 ounces of cream cheese set to room temperature so that it will mix well. We've got 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. We're gonna use some orange jello, a teaspoon of vanilla, teaspoon of orange extract, 1/4 cup of orange juice, and we're gonna shave a little bit of that rind off just to give us a little citrus punch. And it will say the recipe that we have today has everything mixed together, but we want it swirled, more like the picture that is on the recipe that we found. So we might have to mess around with how much orange goes into it because they have everything combined all together. We're gonna make ours as the vanilla part of the cheesecake, make the orange and kind of swirl them together. So we'll kind of eyeball that a little bit.
Okay, so I've got my 2 blocks of cream cheese in here. I'm gonna whip that together until it's nice and creamy together. And then I'm gonna start mixing in my powdered sugar and my vanilla.
And we're using the paddle attachment for this. We're gonna, since it's pretty soft, but it shouldn't take too long to get creamy. And We will scrape down the sides, make sure everything is mixed together, and then like Doug said, he's got a couple things to add.
Okay, so now it's mixed together pretty well. So I'm gonna start adding in my powdered sugar. And I'm going to also add in my 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so I'm going to put in my teaspoon of vanilla.
It's looking yummy in there. All right, I've got the heavy whipping cream. It's a cup. We're going to go into the mixer with the whippy attachment. We're going to whip this until we get stiff peaks. Generally that takes probably 3 or 4 minutes on a high. So I'm going to start low, then move it up a little bit, and we're just going to keep an eye on it. But I'm thinking it'll be at least 3 or 4 minutes to get to the stiff peaks. But you want to keep an eye just in case it gets to that place before that time. All right, we're at stiff peaks. So all that means is if I lift it, it doesn't fall apart. I can keep it at a stiff peak. So we're gonna fold this into the cream cheese mixture a little at a time. All right, it's a little bit at a time. Folding back and forth because we don't want to break the stiff peaks. Keep it nice and soft and fluffy. Almost there. This does smell really good. It's got a nice little vanilla hint, but I think when we start mixing in some orange, it's going to be even more delightful. I'm going to get it all out and into the bowl. While I'm doing that, I would invite you, if you have not already, join Doug and me on our next adventure or our next time in the kitchen where we make some yummy dessert on a budget. And we would appreciate you watching some of our videos and thinking about subscribing and becoming part of the Everyday Getaway family.
And welcome to all of our new subscribers. Okay, so we took a little bit out, about maybe a third of it, of the mixture. We're going to put 1/4 cup of the orange jello in here. We're going to start mixing that together. Once I get that mixed together, then I'm going to put 1/4 cup of fresh squeezed orange juice. And I'm going to put in a little zest from that orange.
And we are guessing on these amounts. We went with what they had for the whole the whole cheesecake. But we really want this to kind of swirl inside. So we're making a guess. We will give it a taste and see what we think if it needs more. We also have some orange extract that they have listed as an ingredient. We can put some of that in if we need it. Just don't want it overpowered. And all this freshness. Oh, I think we got a seed. All right, Doug operated, took out the seed. We're good to go. It does smell really fresh. If you like oranges, this might be yummy. One of our best cooking videos was an orange creamsicle fudge. We will link that at the end. And this reminds me a lot of the freshness and the smell of that. But cheesecake, yum.
Okay, so I think it needs a little bit more of the orange flavoring. So I'm just going to put a couple of drops in here, mix it together, and see if that helps it out a little bit. It's got a good flavor to it, but a little bit more would be, since we're mixing it in with the whole cheesecake, might help it out some.
All right, we're going to put about half of the cream cheese mixture in. Since we are wanting to swirl it, we want to make sure there's some of the orange throughout. So I'm going to smooth in about a half. And
oh, that crust looks really good.
Crust looks really good. Might need another little dabble duty here. And we're just going to start mixing a little bit of that orange in. And then once we put the second layer, we'll probably have a little more to mix. So I think I'm just going to do dollops. That's a big dollop. maybe a spoon to dollop. And let's try swirling here. Well, this is maybe not the right tool to swirl with that much on the bottom. I might have to get another tool. All right, I am swirling, but it looks like it's mixing, so I'm gonna take a break, leave that there. We'll go in with the rest of the cream
If it
cheese
mixes,
mixture.
it's okay. Let's just have that.
More of
Once
an
you
orange color.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Nope. We were hoping for more of a swirly, but it will all be good. So make a dreamsicle. You want maybe a little vanilla and a little orange swirled together. All right, got that almost all in. We're gonna go in with a little more orange. Try swirling again and see if I have a better plan this go round. All right, I'm gonna try the knife this time. That might swirl a little bit better. I'm gonna go one direction, then go back the other direction. You may want to use a little less of the orange. We have a little bit extra left, so I might even make a little dabble do on the top, or save that just for fun eating on the side. But it's looking pretty swirled. All right, we're just going to cover this with foil. The directions, excuse me, say it should go in the fridge for 4 hours to overnight. We are not planning on eating this until tomorrow, so it's going to set overnight for us, and then tomorrow we will give it a try. We like for it to set up a little bit, so we'll put a little garnish on it, give it a try. All right, it's the next day after church. We had a little bite of lunch, and now we get to try the creamsicle cheesecake. We have a nice layer of crust on there. We did double that, and the swirl with the orange, it's not as bright of an orange as would be fun to make the swirl, but you can see both the parts that are vanilla and orange, making it more creamsicle-y. Brightness of the orange, that delicious cream cheese, that soft, yummy cream cheese, that thick crust on the bottom. This is a delicious cheesecake. Absolutely yummy.
Hey, thanks again for joining us today.
Take care of yourselves, take care of others, and we will see you soon.
Bye-bye.
One more quick thing. This is a container I use for storage a lot, for even cakes or cupcakes. But in case you don't know this trick, instead of trying to put the cake or cupcakes or whatever down on the bottom, if you flip the lid, in this case, I'm going to put that cream cheesecake in there and flip over the lid, and that works really well for storage. Just a quick tip.
Join us next Tuesday as we try another fun treat.